Gotta move this out the way. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. We're starting. Hey, it's Madison Chase, and this is it's Yes or No. It's your entertainment source, our news option, and I got my girl all the way in Wisconsin.
What's up, yo? Steph Z with you. How are you, girl?
I'm good. Okay. So one day we're going to talk about something happy. I think tomorrow we should talk about some happy topics, something that makes us feel good. So we're talking about Disney reopening. Steph has got the facts. A 2-year-old was killed by an alligator. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so apparently a family was on vacation in Disney. If they were wading in the water outside of their resort. An alligator snagged the 2-year-old, wound up killing the 2-year-old. The 2-year-old was found, and it wasn't like a gruesome death. It drowned, still dead, still very sad story. A negligence story, I believe, is what's happening here. And there were even though there was previous sightings of alligators in this water, there was no postings of the alligators. Which caused a lot of speculation, concern, comments. And now today, it was just released that the beaches reopened and the security heightened. And what that means is the beaches reopened and now they have a fence around the water. A lot of people would think a fence that you can't get through. Not that. It's wooden poles about 4 to 6 feet apart from each other with 2 ropes in the middle. So it's not a complete fence. A child could still get through, and an alligator still could get on the beach. So I don't know how I feel about that. And they said that there is going to be security. So pretty much here's the story that has been reported on TMZ, which is a pretty credible source. It says Disney has lifted the ban on its beaches 8 days after the deadly alligator attack and is employing a new security protocol to avoid another death. We're told in addition to the fences and warning signs, Disney is now going to staff employees at their resort beaches to watch over guests and make sure they stay out of the water. Furthermore, the beaches will only be accessible during the day and must be cleared an hour before sunset. As previously recorded, Disney closed beach access after the 2-year-old was attacked and killed. Wildlife officials believe they killed the gator responsible for the death. So that's the what happened of this story. Now, Madison, I've got a couple questions, or yes or no questions for you about this. Number one, do we think these fences are enough?
You know what? I'm actually reading another story from the New York Times, because you kind of, I don't know if that's the story from TMZ, but the story that I'm reading, they're not talking about negligence from the parent side. The story on the New York Times says that Lane Graves was doing what any 2-year-old boy would be doing on a hot Florida evening, splashing around in the shallow waters of a lagoon. His parents and sisters, Nebraskans, were all nearby on the beach at a Disney resort, relaxing carefree. Suddenly, an alligator sprang from the water and clamped his jaws around the boy. Lane's father, Matt Graves, bounded into the lagoon to wrestle his son from the animal's steel-trapped grasp, but lost the battle, according to the account from the Orange County Sheriff, Jerry L. Deming. So,
yeah, just to be clear, I wasn't saying it was negligence on the family's part. I'm saying it's negligence on Disney's part because clearly if there was an alligator sighted at any point in time or there's any knowledge that there's alligators anywhere, there should be signs posted. You shouldn't have to wait until a 2-year-old dies in order to do these precautions that should be happening if there's an alligator in the water of your resort.
I agree. So negligent, not on the parents' part, but negligence on the resort's part.
Correct. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So your question is, do you think that a fence is enough and signs are enough and having additional employees posted is enough to reopen a resort after a 2-year-old is snagged in the shallow water. I would say that's definitely not enough. And here's the thing: when I think something like this happens, one or two things are going to happen. You're going to have people who probably had vacations at Disney that are probably going to say, no, I'm good, give me my money back. And two, like, this is such a horrific event. And I think we've become so desensitized to companies not taking responsibility, even in the case of, you know, the Harambe and the little boy that got into the enclosure. Like, again, I think when you're paying your money for something, the people that actually pay, the customers, the consumers, like, there needs to be something where they're protected. Because here's the thing, Disney is such a huge resort that if they decided to sue, they have probably millions of dollars and probably have really top-notch attorneys that even if the parents decided to try to sue for negligence, you know, would they win? I don't know. But I definitely don't think, I don't think
Go ahead, sorry.
enough. I don't think having ropes in the water, that's enough. Like, it's not enough. And I'm just pretending like I'm that boy's mama. Like, I would be livid if, you know, we're on vacation and we paid X amount of dollars. And if the family was there, I'm sure it was not a cheap vacation. And then now you're having to go to a funeral. Like, that is horrific. And he was only 2. I would be absolutely livid. Disney would be my new last name. Like, I'd be like, look, this is not Disney no more. This is the Chase Resort. That's what it would be called, because I would be livid. Like, and to open this quickly, like, how long ago did this happen?
8 days.
Yeah, no, they should be livid. Like, but I don't think, hopefully enough people watch the news that they're aware of what's happened at the Disney resort. Like, 8 days is not enough for you to make some changes in safety for your people that actually come to visit. That's ridiculous. So no.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think 8 days is not enough. And I also feel like, you know, what Disney did do is, I feel like they have in some sense taken, I feel like what they did too is everyone that was staying in that resort when this happened got free stays, which again is just, you know, pocket change to Disney.
I was gonna say, how much did that cost? $2?
That's what I'm saying. No, it was like $500,000 actually, but still for them, still pocket change.
I was gonna say it's probably $1 billion company, so $1 million to $1 billion industry.
Pocket change. Pocket change.
50 cents.
What I'm saying is, there's got to be, until they figure out a way where they can keep those waters cleaner or whatever they need to do, there's got to be a more substantial, because even if there's security there, what about at night? What about, you know, the drunk kids that wander out there? Like, what about whatever? Not that I'm saying that, you know, it's okay to be drunk or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, they're still not protecting themselves and people against something that's really deadly by having security. I feel like they got to do more.
Yeah, and I know that there was another story where a golfer was golfing in Florida. He went in to reach for a golf ball and ended up losing his hand. So I just think in Florida, I don't know what's happening, but I do think that's not enough. 8 days is definitely not significant enough for them to make drastic changes so that safety for the people who actually visit the resort, they're safe.
Right. No, I'm with you. Okay. Question number 2. Was it right to kill the gator? They think they found the alligator that was responsible. Do you think they should?
Oh, you know what? Here's the thing that's interesting. You think you found the gator. So did we do a DNA test? Did we see if the alligator had blood in the tooth that matched the little boy who he dragged off? Like, come on. Like, you have got to be kidding. You think you found.
They believe.
Of course they're going to say that because
I believe the children are our future.
Right. No, Disney obviously does not believe the children are our future. They definitely don't believe that because I think it sounds good. And I think whenever there's a victim and a victory, we want to have the thing like, oh, we caught it. It's gone. That one alligator that eats little babies, it's gone now. So you could come back. It's safe. Give us your money. No, I hope that they suffer a significant loss and that nobody, if anybody from Disney that had a Disney resort vacation planned, I hope they say, no, I'm not coming. Like, gates are not enough. That's not enough. A gate, a rope, come on, a rope. You need to have a steel enclosure where alligators can't possibly come through whatever that enclosure is so that the people that are wading in the water, there needs to be safe waters. And I know you probably can't, you know, secure the entire perimeter, but where people are roaming and splashing around, that part needs to be safe. Or otherwise, you
just can't advertise it as a beach resort because you're not giving the people what they're paying for.
Exactly. You don't advertise it as a beach resort, or you just don't let people in the water and you skip the whole beach and you just call it a resort. Because if there's ever another possibility of someone getting dragged off, someone getting eaten, someone missing a limb, like I feel like we don't make businesses as responsible as they should. Like, there's no way. Like, that family, I hope they have a really good attorney because I would take them to the bank and then some. Like, that Disney resort would be my name. Like, I would own part of that company because that was like, it didn't have to happen. Had they taken the precautions that they should have taken, you know, and the same thing, like, I think that's the interesting thing about the case with Harambe is that we didn't hear them talking about, yes, we've done everything that we can. We've been tested. Whatever organization comes out to make sure that the enclosures are safe. Obviously, it was not safe enough. If a 2-year-old could, or a 3-year-old, or anyone for that matter, could get into the enclosure, they need other precautions. You need to take other precautions.
I'm with you, girl. Now, the other question that I have is apparently there is a audio of the Disney alligator attack, the 911 call. Now, this is something that gets me every time, and it bothers me deeply. So I might be alone in this, but it's fine. But I do not think that the police should release these calls so that we can all hear the terror and the fear. I think it's unnecessary. I think it's a private moment. I think that if that was me and that happened to my child, or if something happened to my family or my friend or anyone, and other people could listen to the horror and terror in my voice, I would be so mortified, pissed, angry, everything. And I feel like we owe it to those people to not want to listen to things like this. So is it yes or no? Should we post up the audio from 911 calls in?
Ooh, Stephanie, if I could cuss, I would say, hell, double hockey sticks. No, like, that is crazy. Like, what are we gonna listen to it for? Like, it makes no sense. It's not gonna solve anything. It's not gonna bring that little boy back to his parents. And if he had siblings, I couldn't even imagine his brother and sister watching the alligator. Like, that is beyond me. I think they should close indefinitely until they secure their resort. And I agree with you. They should not call it a resort. They should call it just Disney vacation. Don't call it a beach. Take the word beach out. Anything that has to do with water, until you can make sure there are no alligators in your perimeter, you should just close indefinitely. Like, that is ridiculous. And I really hope and pray that they lose so much money that family sues them to the yin yang, that is Disney / Graves, because I think the little boy's name was Graves. Like, I think parents don't really, I would so go in, that could not be my child, because I almost want to call and be like, look, y'all need to get the best attorney ever, and that resort owes you so much money just because they did not take the necessary precautions to make sure that people in general, let alone a 2-year-old, is safe.
No, I'm with you, girl. I mean, I'm sure Disney will do something to try and keep this out and give the family something, because, like I said, it's clear that they're somewhat admitting that this has been a problem before and that they should have done something about it. Again, no amount of money in the world can bring back their kids, so it's not necessarily about that. But in the same sense, it's like there has to be a consequence for negligence on Disney's part.
Yes, and I think that's part of the problem, is that it's opening 8 days. 8 days? Come on.
Yeah.
Are we sure it's 8 days?
I'm with you, girl. Well, those are my questions.
I love it, Steph. I hate that we keep having these conversations about people visiting public places and they're not protecting the people that are visiting. So hopefully we'll have something. I'm going to find a happy story that we can talk about, because this is getting on my nerves. Talking about sad.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, we're going to find some happy topics. So if you guys have something that you want to discuss and share, some motivating, inspirational stories, I am all for it. I'd love to talk about some positive news. But I'm Madison Chase, and thank you for watching, leaving your comments. Again, you could find me on YouTube. I'm at 1 Matt Chase. On Instagram, I'm 1 Madison Chase. That's the number 1. And on Twitter, I'm Madison Chase Fit. So thank you guys for watching. And Steph, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I am STEFZ. I am Steph Z with an F. And my YouTube page is Z Steph. No, it's not. I'm lying to you. It's Steph Z TV. So I was still doing my old like Hotmail address. I don't know what happened there. But again, Instagram and Twitter. I did. Instagram and Twitter. I am Steph Z with an F, and YouTube Steph Z TV with an F as well. Thank you, Madison.
Thank you, Steph. See you later.
See you later.